Good day and welcome to the Singtel Digital Silvers program. My name is Ken and I'll be your virtual guide on your journey to become digital citizens. This topic is on basic phone settings for Android. So sit back, relax and whip out your smartphone so that you can follow along with the lesson. The first thing we're going to learn is how to turn on and off the phone. For this phone that I have here, the power button is on the right hand side, over here. So this can be different for different phones depending on your model and your brand. For some phones, your power button could be at the top or the back instead. Once you've found your power button, what we need to do is just to press and hold the power button, like so. And a splash screen will appear. And we'll just wait for it to load. This can take anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute, so just be patient. Once it's loaded, you'll see that it comes to this lock screen. So you need to swipe upwards, and there we go. My phone is now unlocked. In order to turn off the phone, similarly, we'll press and hold the power button. And we'll tap on power off, and we tap on it again, and now the phone is turned off. To check the phone's battery level, you can take a look at the top right hand corner. Or if you want more details, you can swipe downwards and it will show here that my battery level is 57%. There is a way to always show the battery percentage at the top right hand corner. We need to go into our settings. So we swipe downwards and click on the gear icon. Then we go to notifications and click on advanced settings. Here we can turn on show battery percentage, and now my battery percentage will always be at the top right hand corner. Please remember to charge your phone, especially when it's low on battery. Navigating with the phone's soft buttons is easy once you understand what these buttons do. They are typically located at the bottom of your screen. The ordering of these buttons from left to right might be different for different phones, but the shape should be quite similar. So over here, on the left side you see an all tasks button, which basically if I click on it, it will show me all the tasks that I have running in the background, and I can switch over to anything, like let's say this YouTube. I can just press it. In the middle there is this home button, which just brings me back to the home screen. The home screen is this screen that you first encounter when you start up your phone, and it has some of your apps here. So let's say I'm opening an app, I am surfing Facebook. Then I just press the home screen button and it leads me back to the home screen. Now on the right side there is this triangle shaped one, which is the back button. So let's say I was browsing some websites and I clicked on a link. I will click on another link, and right here if I click back, it will just bring me to the previous page. Then sometimes I have to click back multiple times just to get back to the home screen. So the key thing to remember here is that the back button only brings you one screen back, whereas the home button brings you all the way back to your home screen. Sometimes when you are using a full screen application, such as watching a YouTube video, the menu buttons will disappear. Not to worry, don't panic. All you need to do is to swipe inwards from one of the outer edges of your phone. Okay, it takes a little practice to get used to this, but then voila, the menu buttons are back. In order to change the language of your phone, you need to swipe down and access the settings menu located at the top right, this gear icon. Once at the settings menu, we scroll down and go to general management. And from here we select language. So over here you can see that the list of languages here I only have one, and so I want to add language. And there's a whole list of languages that you can select from. Let me just scroll all the way down and select simplified Chinese. Okay, after selecting my region, I will set as default. And now my phone's language is in Chinese. To change the font settings, we need to go back to the settings page. So swipe downwards and click on the gear icon again. Now we need to look for display and go to font size and style. So over here, you can see that I can increase my font size and this will affect the size of the text. So if I go back, everything has changed to be a bigger text. So I can decrease it back again. You can also notice that there's a bold font option here, which just makes the text darker and easier to read. To adjust the screen brightness, here's what you should do. First, you need to swipe downwards twice, and at the bottom, you'll find a brightness bar that you can adjust by swiping it left to make it dimmer, to the right to make it brighter. Okay, once you're comfortable with the brightness, you can just leave it alone. If you can't find the brightness bar, you can also access it through the phone settings. So we go into display, and over here you can see the bar, the same bar that it goes left and right. Now there's this other setting called adaptive brightness, which will basically automatically adjust the brightness of your screen according to your surroundings. So if you're in a very bright area, it will brighten up the screen. If you're in a darker area, it will dim out the screen. To access the Wi-Fi settings, simply swipe down and look for the umbrella looking icon here. You can tap it to turn it off and on. If it's blue, it's turned on. If you press and hold, you can access this settings here, where you can see a list of networks available. There is another way to access this menu, and that is through the settings. So if you go to the gear icon again and go to connections, Wi-Fi, you will see the same menu again. So let's say you want to connect to a different network, just click on the network and type in your password and click on connect. If your phone plan comes with mobile data, you can turn it on and off by swiping downwards twice and looking for this up and down arrow here. So you can tap it to turn it off, tap it to turn it back on. Please be wary that additional charges may apply, so be careful when you're using mobile data. Sometimes your phone system can get outdated. So in order to trigger a software update, we go to settings and look for software update. So over here you can see that my last update was 9th May, but I can click on download and install, and it will help me to check for new updates. Please do remember to switch to Wi-Fi when you are downloading this. In my case here, my software is up to date. Currently, I can only type on my keyboard in English. So right here, if I'm typing hello, it's in English. So if I want to change the language settings of my keyboard, I have to go to settings and look for general management, keyboard settings. In my case here, it's a Samsung phone, so it's Samsung keyboard. And I go to manage input languages. And let's say I want to type in Chinese simplified. So I just select that option and I go back. And now if I bring out my keyboard again, I swipe the spacebar to one side and I can type in Chinese now. Okay, I swipe the keyboard again and I can type in English. Sometimes we want additional security for our phone. Here is how we can set the lock screen. First we go to settings and look for lock screen. So right here you can see that my screen lock type is PIN. I can change that by going into it. And I can change it to, let's say, swipe. I can change it to a new PIN. I can change a password, or I can even use biometrics such as Face ID and fingerprints. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope this has been helpful in teaching you about the basic settings and functionalities of your phone. Don't forget that you can always rewind to certain sections and pause the video if you were unable to follow along the first time around. Lastly, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And feel free to check out the rest of the videos in this series.